Hey guys, what's up? It's Mel, and I'm here to talk about Lost Girl again, this time about episode 511 called Sweet Valkyrie High, which premiered September 20th, 2015. And I have to say, guys, if you were missing Tamsin last episode, this truly made up for it, which I was so excited about. So, once again, I'm going to try to do it in a 10-minute timer clock and my 6 sections like I did last time. Let's see if I can do it this time. So, let me start the clock and let's get started. So, first section. Number 1, something new we learned. What did we learn? We learned a lot about the Valkyries today. Thanks to Tamsin and just getting her flashbacks, I guess you could say, and how particularly these flashbacks showed not only do we get to learn her past, but we also get to see when Tamsin herself got to learn what it meant to be a Valkyrie. And basically it was kind of, Valkyrie Academy was basically like a Catholic school for girls, pretty much. So I'll get into that later. Second thing that we learned today was the true reason behind Lauren's decision to use herself as a test subject, which resulted in her being a Fey conduit, I believe it's called. And that is because she was trying to test, a cure serum that she wanted to use on Ebony, the former Morgan, aka leader of the Dark Fae, which she had turned into a human in the previous season. So basically, all of Lauren's testing was to see if she could successfully turn a human Ebony back into her former Fae self. Shocking, but at least it shows a purpose as to why she would want to test herself, basically. And really, what scientist would want to test themselves out? I mean, something could go wrong, and what if, because it's affecting them, they are going to ignore certain things where it could be important to the experiment or taking note of it? Just saying. Okay, moving on. Third thing that we learned today was Hades had always planned to build an army ever since the end of the Ancients' battle against the Titans. Now, I'm a little weird about still calling them the Ancients instead of them being the Olympians, since in school I always learned them as the Olympians. But basically, Zeus, Poseidon, Hades, once they defeat the Titans, they all divided the spoils among them, and it resulted in Zeus getting the sky, Poseidon getting the water, and Hades getting the underworld. And it was rumored that Hades was tricked into picking the shorter straw, which was the underworld, when in fact it turns out by Tamsin learning that Hades intentionally picked the underworld so that he could build his army within the darkness, basically. So basically hiding in plain sight. So that is what we learned. So he's definitely more devious than, I guess, the history books stated. But nothing new there. We already knew, even with the myths of who Hades as a character is in any form of mythology, he's supposed to be a bad dude. Okay, next section. Top 3 favorite moments. I gotta say, most of it's going to revolve around Tamsin because it was a Tamsin-centric episode, which I truly love because I really miss Tamsin. So, number 1, Tamsin's backstory, which we got to see a very different version of Tamsin to begin with. She was basically the head girl, supposed to be valedictorian, the goody-goody, the one who abides by all the rules. That's who the Tamsin was before, until she met Agasha, her former teacher, and the one who taught her what it truly meant to be a Valkyrie, and had her realize this leadership quality inside of her for herself, and made her stand up for herself and to think for herself, which is great. And I also love the fact that we got to see more of Tamsin's relationship with Agasha, not just in the present day with Agasha providing comfort to Tamsin in regards to her certain fallout with Bo, but also in the flashbacks where we get to learn where their relationship started, how they became mentor to mentee, teacher, student, how Tamsin came to be Agasha's favorite student to teach. So Agasha's definitely been a crucial player in Tamsin's growth. And I do have one question though. But for the Tamsin flashbacks, do we have any idea how far back that is for Tamsin? I mean, with her distinct character change, I guess you could say, she's definitely very young, very new to the Valkyrie life. So I'm assuming it's one of if not the first, it's one of the earlier years for Tamsin. But like when she's still trying to learn what it means to be a Valkyrie and coming into her powers and such like that. So she's definitely new to the whole thing. But how far does a Valkyrie live? And how many lives has Tamsin had so far? I know that from season 4, this is supposed to be Tamsin's last life currently. So begs the question, just how far along or how far back in the past was this flashback taking place? And I'll get back to that in my question section later, because I do have another question for that. But second favorite moment, the Valkyrie team up against former Valhalla leader Freya, which had Tamsin getting backed up by Agasha and her Valkyrie sister Stacy. I thought that was pretty cool. And it was great to see 4 Valkyrie faces going off at once. So it's pretty great to see that all unfolding. And I guess it's not very good to have Valkyries against one another because you're doubting each other and it's just going to be crazy. And third favorite moment, I'd have to say it would have to be the toast at the very end of the episode between Bo, Lauren, and Evany. And basically, I like it because Evany was finally looking and accepting their help in regards to her ill situation that she has just come to realize. So it was great to see the former evil, vindictive leader of the Dark Fae actually turning to them for help. So I thought that was great. So, top 3 peeved moments. Not really peeved, I guess you can say, for these 3, but I guess they can fall into that category. First one, like I said, not really a peeved moment, but it's more of a why the hell didn't he do that sooner moment. And that's when Hades escaped his glass cell. I mean, I know he's going to escape at some point because he's Hades after all. But if it were that simple for him to escape and it was really just glass that was keeping him trapped, then why in the world didn't he escape sooner? And then if it was just glass, then why wasn't there a guard on him 24/7? And if they were going to contain him, then why not contain him in some material that they knew his powers couldn't work against? I mean, like that shield that Zeus had that she was trying to get when Nyx was about to come down on all of them. Like, she really wanted that shield, which Trick had stolen. But if you remember what I mean, then that's what I meant. So that really just annoyed me, that they really didn't take extra precautions when imprisoning Hades. Second moment, again, not really a peeved, but there was no Dyson and there was no Mark. Although I was pleased that there was no Alicia. I really don't like that human at all. She's just really annoying. And more of a personal note for my third peeved would have to be that as a viewer, I still have no idea what Hades' endgame is. I mean, I would like it more if, as an audience, we were aware, but the characters were not aware. I would be all for that. But we're just as in the dark as the characters, which kind of nerves me because I'm still trying to figure out where Hades lies, what he's telling the truth about, what he's lying about, because he's coming off as a very manipulating person where you yourself are trying to doubt what he has to say or if he's telling you the truth or not, because sometimes he's talking as if he knows you, as if he truly feels for whichever character he's interacting with. So that's just where I want to stop that confusion I'm having, is basically what I'm saying. So, number 4, most shocking moment. Sorry if I can't talk, really. It's really late here for me. So, shocking moment is when Tamsin went to confront Hades at the end. Her initial plan was to kind of convince Hades that she wanted to be the general of his army. What surprised me, though, was the fact that she switched her position so quickly after he called her a liar. I thought Tamsin would fight on the plan that she would go in as his general of this army he wanted and then maybe break it from the inside out. But instead, she goes back to the stance that she's on Bo's side and she wants Hades to stay away from her friends, and that's it. I just thought that was surprising when she had the plan to infiltrate, I guess you could say. So, let's get to questions. And like I mentioned earlier, I do have a question for Tamsin about the flashbacks. That was one of them. A second one would be if, let's see, is Tamsin's wings that appeared in the flashback. That's right. Her wings appeared. Now, I'm really confused because in season 4, they made this really big deal that if Tamsin had her wings, that meant it was her last life. And apparently, when they showed up after she had gone through her very quick childhood, very quick teenage years, and then we got back to adult Tamsin again with her, there it goes, shoot, with her wings, it was made to be a very big deal. But in the flashbacks, we get her wings again. So what does that mean? Am I misinterpreting it? Is it wrong? Did I remember it wrong from season 4? I have no clue. Someone help me out with the comments below. But that was one thing. And another thing is if we were doing flashbacks of Tamsin being in Valkyrie Academy, I'm assuming she's a teenager. And while I love that we got to see Rachel playing Tamsin, adult Tamsin, I don't get why for a flashback they couldn't use the teen Tamsin that we saw in season 4, episode 4. I mean, we already saw teen Tamsin. Why not use her again for the flashbacks? At least then it would be a little more helpful in determining the age range, I guess, for Tamsin, instead of just putting Rachel in pigtails and a schoolgirl outfit to basically have her looking more childlike, I guess, or younger. I don't know. I never really liked it when people just assumed you just put a girl's hair in pigtails or cut them to have bangs, and then like that automatically makes them appear younger. It's like that's not the universal way to make people look younger. I don't know. And another question. Timer already went off, as you can hear, but I wanted to get this done. It occurred to me in the recap at the very beginning of the episode about this, but I'm wondering, did the reason why Zeus wasn't vanished properly was because the first song was actually sang or sung by Lauren and not by a true siren? And if that's the case, then Hades knew that Lauren would be a conduit too if she was with the siren, and if Zeus had done something to the true siren, then Lauren would have stepped in. So it gives me the impression that Hades was definitely planning everything to a T. But I'm surprised that it didn't really occur to me that Hades had originally said true siren when explaining the song's purpose to Bo. It didn't really occur to me until the recap portion of this episode. So I'm just wondering if that was the real reason why Zeus wasn't actually vanished away instead of them actually changing the first song. Or did they also do that? Or did Hades also do that as well? Okay, next question. Is Hades possessing someone like the other ancients did? Or is the Hades we see now his actual face? Is who we actually see? I'm just curious about that, since we know that Hera was possessing Kevin, and then Iris, I think, was possessing Cecilia or Cece. And then, like, we see Zeus had possessed that dead woman. So, I was just curious. And quickly, let's go on to predictions before I go way longer than I'm supposed to. But my prediction will be a very long and challenging struggle for Lauren as she tries to save Ebony's life, and also trying to figure out how using herself as the serum's test subject won't backfire on her. I truly think it will backfire on her somehow. I definitely don't see Ebony's recovery, if she does recover at all, to be a quick one, to be an easy one. There's definitely going to be struggles. They're definitely going to have to fight time on this one. And I don't see how Lauren's situation could be saved unless they find out the serum actually works. I guess if they find out too late to save Ebony. So like if it was too late to save Ebony and then they find out the serum works, that's the only way I can see how it could kind of have both things. But anyways, second prediction, I think Freya, Geisha, and Stacy will be seen again. Even though we saw them go to Valhalla, or we saw Freya and Stacy return to Valhalla, and we know that a geisha is meant to be the ruler of Valhalla once Hades is dealt with, but I think we may see them again when it comes to any showdowns in the future against Hades. And I still think that Bo is going to be turned to the dark side to join Hades for a bit before she reverts back to being good and taking him down. So it'll be very interesting to see how this all goes. But that's it for the 6 sections. Apparently I definitely went over my time, but what can I say? Kept rambling. I do apologize for that. But what did you guys think about the episode? What did you like? What did you not like? What was most shocking for you? What did you end up learning that maybe I didn't mention? Any questions did you have that came up during the episode or after this video? And what are your own predictions when it comes to the remaining episodes of the series? Just leave them down in the comments below. I'd love to read them. And who knows? Maybe they might come true. Maybe they won't. Maybe you might find stuff that I didn't realize before, or vice versa. So, love to hear about it. Or I guess love to read about it in this case. Sorry. So, until next week, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, check out my other videos in case you've watched all the other Lost Girl videos. And don't forget to share this with all your other fellow Lost Girl fans. Love to spread the word, get people talking in these final moments for the series, which is sadly coming to an end. But until the next episode, enjoy your week, everybody. Bye.